We're going to do another example on using the AC method, or as I like to call it, the peanut butter jelly method. Feel free to sing the song. Also, I apologize for the squeaky stylus. I'm trying to switch over to one that's a little bit neater, makes my handwriting a little bit more tolerable, but it does make some squeaky noises. Alright, so the next one we're going to be looking at is the quadratic 3x squared minus 26x plus 35. Right. How do we know that we have to use the AC for this problem? Well, the A term is bigger than 1, so we got to use our peanut butter jelly or our AC method. We call it AC because it's the A term and the C term of the quadratic. The first thing you want to think of is your chart. So we take our A times our C and we put that in the top of the X chart. 3 times 35 is 115, and that's positive, because they're both positive. And we look at our middle number, which is minus 26, and we automatically put that in the bottom. Now we got to find our factors. So what are going to be the signs on these factors? What they have to multiply to a positive, we know they have to be the same. So we have to either have a positive and a positive, or we have to have a negative and a negative. If you want a negative sum, that tells you what both of them need to be. They both have to be minuses. And if that's confusing at all, just think any time that you have a positive on top, you need them to be the same, and that the middle decides what your sign's going to have to be. And that should help you out. When I was looking through my factors, I looked for 2 factors that would add up to 26, and then I just added the negatives at the end. 21 and 5 is 26, and they're both negative, so it gets you negative 26. And then what's a negative 21 times the negative 5? It's a positive 115. After we find our factors, we want to rewrite our sandwich, so you can think of the bread staying, but the middle changing. And instead of having the negative 26x in the middle, which is kind of like your cheese, we're going to have the peanut butter and the jelly, which are over here. So we'll have a minus 21x, because it's part of the x, and a minus 5x, because it's part of the x. Both of the middle terms should have x's because they're both toppings. Now we want to go ahead and split our sandwich because we're good friend, we're sharing, and look for our GCF in each. We want to factor it out. 3 and 21, they both have 3 go into them. Notice the 3 is positive, so we'll just use a positive 3. Also an x goes into each, so we can divide by a 3x. We have to put the 3x down because we're factoring him out. We're leaving him out. But when you're dividing, your 3's will cancel, and there'll be 1x left. Then negative 21 divided by 3 is negative 7, and your x's will cancel. Move on to the other side of the sandwich, and you notice you have that negative 5 out in front. So you have to have a negative in the GCF, or else your problem won't turn out so pretty. So if we do a negative 5 factored out, we have to divide everything by negative 5. Our negative 5's would cancel, and we're left with x. And our positive 35 divided by negative 5 is a negative 7. And these two should always match. If they don't, you want to go back and see if you found the biggest common factor, because I know some of you struggle a little bit with greatest common factor. So go back, see if there's anything else that you can factor out, and hopefully we'll get to the same point. Then we take the 2 outsiders and give them a place of their own to hang out, and we write the x minus 7 down once. All right, because we know when we FOIL, we'll essentially be getting back to all of this. That's just the longhand way of FOILing. Okay, so we have our 2 binomials, and we have to solve them. So on your ECA, if it has the whole problem set equal to 0, so in the very beginning, if they have it set equal to 0, You don't just stop there. You have to solve for your two solutions or your two x-intercepts. How we're going to do that is we're going to have 3x minus 5. I'm going to have to squeeze it on here. And you're solving your two-step equation, so you add 5 to both sides. And you get 3x equals 5. And you can divide both sides by 3. So we get x is 5/3. We can't reduce that any further. If you want to make it a mixed number, you can, or you can go ahead and leave it like that. The ECA will have this method, or they'll go ahead and have you put it as a decimal. Also, with the x minus 7 equals 0, the reason we do the opposite is it's a one-step equation, and you'd have to add 7 to both sides, so we get x is positive 7. We have our two solutions, 5/3 and 7. And you're always welcome to go ahead and double check those, but since we took our time, I think we'll be okay. If you have additional questions, feel free to email me or give my classroom phone call a buzz, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Have a good snow day.